Hello fellow hunters and welcome to the channel. We are live again in Hunt Sim 2 and today I decided to continue the funny grind to 5 million credits. In last week's stream we ended up with 4.8 something million. Recently I played a bit more. Mainly to stay in the game and to be at least a bit prepared for today's stream, not as usual. And I ended up with 4.9 million, so we need 100k more to reach our goal of 5 million. And today, I don't know what map we start with. Let's start with some Roosevelt Forest, and we can talk about the typical news overview regarding hunting games I'm waiting for. That's really quick, no news at all. It's a bit disappointing again that we get almost no information. Except the news postings from the past, but yeah, there was no in-game footage and we don't really know more after reading that. That's a little bit disappointing, but it is what it is. I hope these games will be released soon. The only thing we can do is wait. And while we're waiting, let's grind some more credits. I started at the usual hotspots for moose, but there was nothing so far, and now I wanna try to get a black bear maybe. The unlimited bear license is quite handy for that, and we heard something. In most cases, this spot is really rewarding, even if the black bears are not the highest value animals when it comes to selling the trophies. I think 3k, 3.5k for a black bear. It's more than okay for the usually really low effort. There we are. A really bad shot. As always. Mostly at the beginning of the streams.
Come, I need you beside me.
We just need to follow the blood track. There he is. He's limping already. Looks like. Wasn't a lethal hit, but oh, now he speeds up. For the loadout today I have the same stuff as in last week's stream. The Winchester as large caliber and one of the Barrett sporting rifles as a small caliber weapon. We will find out how efficient the stream will be today. 100k is still a bit to go for the goal, but if we don't reach it today, we can do that next week. Are some other tracks. Jackrabbit tracks, okay. No, I don't wanna go for rabbits today. Let's check the map where we are. This area up here. I'm not sure if I ever explored this part of the map. But here are no stands or points of interest. There he comes.
Come here.
We get a second chance. That's good. It's absolutely not ideal that that we need to track him for so long. Like I said, the black bears are not the most valuable trophies in the game. Here we are. We fixed the issue without getting fined. I think that's okay for the start of the stream. A young black bear. Nothing extraordinary, but it helps. For the next spot I will try to get a grizzly or two. And then we check the moose locations again. During my preparation hunts for the stream, I found quite a lot of white-tailed deer, mainly in this area. Unfortunately, no update for my legendary one.
Stay where you are.
Let's get some distance to the dog. Okay, 2 male white-tailed deer, but no legendary. There seems to be no grizzly around. So I go for the big one. No, the small one can grow. He was lucky that I missed the first shot, so I let him run. We spooked, if there was a bear, we spooked him for sure. So I will check the moose hotspot at the cabin again. And down here. But I don't expect anything here for now. Maybe in the next run. 3.1k, 3.5k with these two animals. It helps. It wasn't the most efficient hunt, but at least a good start.
Stay in position.
For the next try, I'm looking for a bison. Hopefully I can find a legendary one that I will probably sell, because it's the chances are very high that it will be smaller than the trophy I have in my lodge. And a legendary bison sells for roughly 10k, I think. That would be a huge step. For most animals, I'm not looking for lodge upgrades anymore. I just sell them. Just because it's really rare that I find one that is larger than my existing trophies.
Stay and don't
It's
make
been a
sound.
while since I replaced something in the lodge. At this spot here, I also found quite a lot of white-tailed deer recently. But that, I think that was in the other time slot, in the evening time slot. I changed that back to afternoon. As I said earlier in some of my older videos, it helps to change the time slot every now and then. In my feeling, at least, to refresh the animal spawns. If I stay in one time slot for too long, it feels like I get less and less animals.
Stay where you are.
Let's check the next bison and deer hotspot. It's always nice to know a spot for more than one animal species, so you can improve the efficiency of the grind a lot. Unless you find something, not like me right now. It seems to be a rather dead Texas map. But if you played the game, you know this. You know this effect. Sometimes you just find one dead map after another. No, and I will return instantly to the lodge. I really don't wanna search for too long. It's still raining. So we go to the marshlands, maybe for a brown bear.
Stay where you are.
The first spot I always check is right behind the cabin when we start. But it seems that we are not that lucky today.
Stay there.
Last week we got one from the forest behind the tent. And the same again. But this time it was a one-shot. I'm not sure about the size. It's maybe a smaller one. Yes, it's a young one.
Stay.
We have some Sika deer. Maybe that's a nice addition. As usual, I have no idea how many licenses I have left for these. So to make sure to avoid any kind of fine for leaving an animal that I cannot claim, I will just take one of them. Again, a normal one, no legendary, nothing extraordinary. But a nice rack for a normal one. Again, a young one. And one animal is left on the license. Good to know. Let's check the other deer spot. Maybe we can find some red deer. Occasionally they show up in this area, but it's just a quick check. My main target animal on this map is the brown bear. No. Maybe there is something in the woods back there, but for deer it's not worth waiting for them. Just want to check the hotspots as quick as possible. I'm not sure yet how long the stream will be today. One hour at least, that's always my minimum goal, but everything else depends on how it goes and what we find, and if we get an interesting map with a lot of animals to the end. I will finish that for sure. Unfortunately, it's in this game, if you go for credits, it's basically extremely grindy, just because you go always for the same species, basically. You go for bears and moose and bison, because everything else, it's just not worth it to spend so much time on animals with a very low value in terms of credits. Cougar might be interesting also, but I think they sell for 3k if it's a normal one. So maybe we can do a quick run in Pawnee Meadows for the next map, maybe. The cougar license is limited to 1 animal, so it's basically the only thing that's worth it in Pawnee Meadows. You need to be lucky to find a legendary cougar, then it's a bit more. This time I'm going to check the deer and grizzly spot first. At some point I really want to find the upgrade for the legendary whitetail. I found so many normal whitetail deer recently. At some point there has to be a legendary with so many animals. And they always show up as a couple, so you have always 2 whitetail deer. That doubles the chances for a legendary spawn. no feedback at all. Looks like there is nothing in the area. I'm really thinking about switching the time slot for the next hunt. No, absolutely nothing.
Stay in position.
Maybe the black bear spot is more interesting. I'm just waiting here a bit to give it a chance if there is a bear around, that he maybe decides to show up somewhere in our range. No, we are not that lucky today. There's just a pheasant. I will try the other moose hotspot behind the cabin. Maybe we can find at least something.
Come. I need you beside me. Stay in position.
There we have a regular cougar. If we can find nothing else on this map, I will take this one. Let's try to get in a good position. There we have our red fox and a cougar. That was a good hit. He should go down fast. Here we are, again a young one. That's a little bit annoying today. No big animals so far. At least we have a deer near the cabin. Maybe there's also a second one. No, it was only one. We spooked him. It wasn't a legendary, so I'll let him grow. 3.6k, at least a little bit. And like I said, I think I will switch the time slot to evening. Avoiding bad weather conditions and maybe resetting the animal spawn to a more efficient level again. Let's try a bison in the evening.
Stay there.
Just a regular bobcat, not really worth it.
Stay where you are.
Two nice male white-tailed deer. I can't see any bison so far, so I will go for the deer. For the Texas region, I'm not sure how many are left on my license. So I will probably go again only for one of them. I don't want to get fined for 250 when hunting animals that sell for 400. Something that's not very efficient. So let's go for this one. I have a feeling that this is my last white-tailed deer on the license. At least a quite big one. No, I can go for 2 more. Maybe that information is useful for this spot too.
Stay in position.
At this location, if there is a bison, I expect it more to the east. Somewhere around here. But not this time. Okay.
Stay.
Just another check here. Maybe. No. At least we can cash in our whitetail deer. 550, that's fine. And as a quick relaxing break, let's do a fun run in Pawnee Meadows. With a little luck we can find a cougar or even a legendary one. These wild boars aren't really worth it spooking anything. That's a regular snowshoe hare. And as usual, I'm just jumping around between the tents.
Stay in position.
That's a coyote. Some wild boar again. And here I'm mainly looking for maybe some elk. And cougar for the highest selling price.
Stay in position.
On this map. This seems to be a red fox. Not that interesting. At least 2 male elk. We can take them down. But before that, let's check the area. If we would spook a cougar, it wouldn't be worth it going for the elk. Oh, we have one female and 3 male elk. That's interesting.
Come along.
And it's always the same. I forgot
Stay.
to check how many animals are left on my license. That's maybe a young one. For sure not a mature. But this one. That's the female. Elk caller, yes. Should I risk to take both big ones? I don't know. We'll go for this one first. It's not a huge difference if we take one or two of them. We can take 2 more. That's good. But I'm waiting maybe for a legendary one.
Stay where you are.
We have already 45 minutes of stream and my efficiency today is really bad. Regular coyote. Mainly I'm looking for anything that's white on the map. Usually if you see white spots moving in this map, you found a legendary.
Stay in position.
Because every legendary animal in this game is a piebald. Just the red fox. Really no cougar today. No cougar on the whole map. Let's check this tent again. Maybe I have a subscription for mostly dead maps today. I don't know. It's really annoying. Oh, we spooked a wild boar. No, they are just some ducks. Claim 916. Not that bad. Let's try Roosevelt Forest again. We need some moose to make progress. No luck with moose so far. Let's check for grizzlies and whitetails again. There is a cougar.
Stay where you are.
I don't want to miss that opportunity to make 3k credits. In comparison to the bears, we can take only one. But with the poor efficiency of today's hunts, even the cougar is really helpful today. Usually I ignore them, for the most part at least. It's a regular. And a really bad position behind the tree. At least a slightly bigger one. We spooked everything that was here for sure.
Stay, and don't make a sound.
And maybe the game will donate some black bear money to our grind. In last week's stream we finally found a legendary bighorn sheep. Maybe we can get something today that brings more cash. There is our black bear. Wrong rifle. Not pretty, but effective. 2 missed shots on the run. And again, just a young one. Absolutely crazy. No big bears today. And absolutely no moose so far. That's just a fox. Okay. Let's buy a new cougar license. Check how far we got so far. 4.92 million. Yeah, really bad efficiency today. Let's try some brown bear hunting. On average, they sell for a bit more compared to grizzlies and black bears.
Come. Stay.
Two wolves, not that interesting. They sell for a really low amount of credits. And how beautiful. Watch at these absolutely ugly birds flying over the map. They never fixed that. Maybe
Stay.
this spot will work again. But it's always helpful to change the map every now and then. Going always for the same map. For me that doesn't work. At some point I get no animal spawns at all and I need to kind of reset something. So for the most part 2 or 3 rounds in the same map are okay, but after that I need to change the time slot or the map. To get the expected animal spawns again. No luck at this location.
Stay. And don't make a sound.
No, nothing is moving.
Stay where you are.
As always, at this spot, checking the area behind this small forest. Just to make sure that I don't miss anything. I will check the southeastern position from here.
Stay where you are.
A Seeker deer and something else. As you can see, if you're still looking for your legendary pheasant, this area of the Cheshire Marshlands map can be rewarding. There are a lot of them. This one looks good. We'll go for that. Just checking if we spooked something. Surprisingly, it's still running. That's impressive. Usually they go down a lot quicker. Now it starts limping. something else interesting here? No. Yeah, a mature one. Finally. There is the other one. No legendary. The wolves again. We already found them when we joined the map. 525. And we need a new license. .1 hour on stream and only 21k credits. That's not good today. That's really disappointing. Maybe we can catch up a bit with a good-sized moose. No.
Stay, and don't make a sound.
Before next week's stream, I really need to do some. I need to do some tests for the time slots again. To make this here more effective. On the other hand, I'm not in a hurry. The release of Hansim 3 definitely will need more time. And I'm pretty sure we can complete our goal of 5 million before it will be released.
Stay, and don't make a sound.
Finally, a hotspot that works as intended. And hopefully we will see something special. No, that's a female. That's a male, we will go for that. Even if it is a normal one. Yeah, I will change the time slot one more time. From evening back to afternoon. As far as I remember, afternoon is way more, or it used to be way more rewarding. At least for the spots I'm checking. Just a turkey. Let's go for this deer spot again.
Stay there.
A little bit off the usual location, but if one of them is maybe a legendary. No. Where's the second one? Oh, they are really close to each other. No, he's quite small, and this one... No, no, no. I don't want to risk... don't want to risk spooking a bear for them.
Come. I need you beside me. Stay where you are.
Our first grizzly for today. that happens when you run out of patience.
Let's go.
But we got a blood track. Pretty sure we can find him. That's a bighorn. After last week's encounter with the legendary one, with that really disappointing selling price, I will not go for them. That was our track.
Go.
Hooray! More bighorn sheep. There he is.
Come. I need you beside me. Stay.
Yeah, you can wait here. This seems to be not the worst position. There he is. This time more patience, and finally. Just to make sure, yes, it was our bear. Checking the moose locations again.
Stay in position.
I can see improvement. And it's a big one. That's really good. And to make it a perfect run,
Stay there.
I'm looking for a black bear. Yes, finally. Finally something interesting. A legendary black bear. It's been a while since I saw one. And just in case, I don't want to lose this one for sure. Our dog is still waiting, that's good. I try to call him in for a very easy position. Yeah, this is improvement for a really bad start of the stream. It's a bit like last week when we found the legendary almost at the end of the stream. But this time it's a mature one. I will compare the size for sure. But I hope that I can sell it. So let's check what we got. We got a grizzly, 3.3k. We got a moose, 4.8. 171 kilos, 6,600 credits. Let's compare it to my trophy. Yes, it's smaller. That's great. We can sell him 6.6k. No, we can leave the map for now. Buying a new moose license. Then let's check what we got. 36k for this stream. I think it could have been a lot better, but it is what it is. And we have almost 1.5 hours of stream. I think that's it for today. At least personally, I'm running a bit out of patience. So I think it's the better option to end the stream for today. And we will continue next week and maybe reach our goal in that stream next Wednesday. Yeah, for now, that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Enjoy your evening and have a great time. Bye bye. See you next week.